For the love. Good evening and welcome to another episode of the Contagious Little Unstoppable. My handsome, wonderful soulmate husband Aaron here. Hi, babe.
Howdy, y'all.
So I want to take a moment and say we apologize again. We've been really bad about getting these out on time. We had a death in the family, very unexpected, and so we literally had to rush out of town to go and help. And it's been a lot. So please, this was totally unexpected. If you don't have your affairs in order, your will, your living will, your power of attorney, your medical power of attorney, please get your affairs in order, because what a difference it makes. And even if your affairs, what you think are in order, they might not be, because this person had a will and a power of attorney and a living will and all of that, but there were some independent documents that most people don't think about that could have been done that would make things a little easier. I mean, everything is in there, but it can still be easier for your loved ones, and it's something to think about. So enough about that.
No, keep going.
What else would we say about it?
What else would you say?
Go ahead.
Darling,
Mm-hmm.
love of my life. Give me the microphone.
Have at it.
There's plenty to say about this.
Have at it, baby.
I hope that somewhere these individuals are listening, because you pieces of shit cockroaches that only come out after the crumbs have fallen, right? That your mother has died. You come out of the woodworks for her stuff, for the stuff that she and her husband, which will be my father, have gathered over 30 freaking years. You come out of the woodworks for little scraps. But where were you when they were alive?
Well, your dad is still alive, thank God.
Where were you during all this arrangements of the hospital, the cremation? You've got all this going on. Where were you? Oh, you're not there.
It's not how can I help, it's what can I take?
Exactly.
I mean, and that's then what is so shocking. I mean, we went down there, and I've always loved your dad, even though
Thank you for letting me vent.
we're not done. You're gonna have at it.
No, I'm done.
But what I'm trying to say is, I've always loved your dad, even though he was first introduced to me as somebody that he wasn't, a completely different character than who he is. And it was dumbfounding. And then we get down there, and they have 33 years of stuff, if you want to say. I mean, she was a hoarder, it's safe to say, right? He is a little bit of a hoarder, but they don't hoard like trash and garbage and stinky food and stuff like that. It's collectibles, a lot of Christmas decorations, right? Like all year long Christmas decorations. They're beautiful things. There's just a lot of it, right? So we spent the entire time we've been there helping clean up, go to the store and get groceries because he didn't have any food in the house. Taking care of him, making arrangements, things of that nature. And there are things that needed to get done. And it was just my husband and I and our daughter. And then his half brother came down and helped for a couple of days. But he's right. Like, we couldn't get other people that lived like 500 feet away to come and support and help in any way. But now it's like cockroaches are coming out, about like what's happening with this and what about this and what about this, and we're taking everything to sell for him. We're taking everything to help him generate some other money coming in to sell these things. We're not keeping them. We're helping him to what am I looking for here? To help with the estate, I guess.
We're helping him mentally also because we're getting him out of the home that him and his wife put together for the past 30 years. It tears him up to be there. So he doesn't want to be there without her, which is understandable. So he's going to live with us, and we're going to make sure that he has a happy and
Unconditional love.
right. But my wife was right at the very beginning of this podcast. She said, "Make sure you have all your paperwork in order." There's a reason for this, guys. It is so stressful trying to gather all the signatures and acquire stuff. You got so much to do after that. You don't need to do this and that at the same time.
But I mean, her affairs were in order.
Right.
So that's not the problem. The problem is like the tedious little things. Like there's a few other cars that she had in her name, for instance. And so even though, the will states what it states, you still have to probate certain things in order to get that taken care of to her wishes, which instead of doing like a, transfer of deed or something like that prior to, I mean, yes, it still goes to who she named as the beneficiary of each item. However, if you did a transfer of deed, it would cut out a lot of the middleman, I guess is what we're trying to say. So, I mean, get your stuff together. And
I mean, to me, it seems like one of those freaking movies where you've got, 8 kids and, dad passes away and all of them were at odds with each other. And then once dad passes, they all come together and they say, okay, what's mine? Okay, I'm firstborn, I should get the house. I'm secondborn, I should get, the Ferrari. And it's just, where were you when they were alive? Where were you helping clean up the yard or helping after a hurricane? I had to go cut down several trees after a year and a half after a hurricane passed through my grandfather's property, which is right next door to my father's property, which is being rented out to her son. My stepmother's son is living on that property, refused to clean up, refused to help.
Chris,
Whatever he is. So, you know what? It irks me.
yeah, here's the thing: we're hours and hours and hours and hours away. It's not a 5-minute, 10-minute, 20-minute, 2-hour, 4-hour, whatever drive. And when they lost power years ago, we, in the middle of the night, the minute we found out about it, we went right down there and got them. Like before that night, when
they had no AC.
We went right down and got them.
And we understand from a medical standpoint, you have to have AC.
And then there was another time we went down there and brought them back in the middle of the night. And then
it's just ridiculous. People don't appreciate their loved ones or family while they're alive. They just won't after the fact.
Well, some I understand. Like some parents, if you have nothing to, if they're asshole, narcissistic pricks, then that's a whole different ball game, and that's a different story. Your dad is sweet.
Did you write a book about that?
Let's not talk about that. Let's not go there. But your dad is sweet. Even though the perception of his character was
portrayed different.
Oh, it was awful. It was awful. And we made it very clear to him what our intentions were, when we were down there, is we want him to have an unconditional, loving, supportive family that is going to be there for him, that's going to take care of him, that's going to love him, and, give Faith a grandfather that she so desperately.
Oh my God, that was cracking me up.
Oh, and these, cannot please. They're joking around. Now she has another ally on her team. And he's hilarious, but we have no doubt now where my husband gets his nasty, dirty mind or mouth. Because grandpa is just like him. They are so much alike. It's eerie. It's eerie. And the stories that he shares, it is eerie. It's fun. It's funny. It's eerie.
And that's what he needs right now. He needs love. He needs laughter in his life. He's ready to move on. Even though this just happened, he's ready to move on.
Not move on as in with another
Right.
woman. So put your claws back in.
But to get rid of the hurt.
Right. And that's what we want to help him do. And it was so nice because he was just so like appreciative. Like we went down there and was like, come on, we're gonna go get you something to eat. Or like we went and got him, a biscuit for breakfast. And then I went to the grocery store and I filled up his kitchen and pantry with food because he didn't have anything. And then when I was like, can I get you a sandwich? Can I get you a sandwich? He's like, what? And it's just this like little things. Before we left, we had cleaned out his bedroom. And before we left, I went in there and I made his bed, and I just had this little daddy Michael dad on my shoulder that was like, how the hell do you expect me to get in the bed if you made it like that? So he's older and he uses a walker. So I was like, you know what, smart ass, I'll tell you what I'm gonna do. So I turned the bed down so he could just get in it. Right. And so he was just in tears when he saw, and he was like, you didn't have to do that. I'm like, you're right, I didn't have to do that, but I did it. It's those little tiny things. Like my husband, I love when he leaves me post-it notes. It's the best, sweetest thing ever. Does he do it often? No, but I love when he does, and it's the best. It's so sweet, and it's just little things like that remind you that you're valued and cherished and loved. It does. But oh my God, the stories. And he's even said, I'm going to corrupt my granddaughter if I'm there. And I'm like, oh, too late. And she's on cloud nine. She's so excited to have him coming. And he was just enamored with her. And he offered her this bracelet. And our daughter is so sweet. She doesn't care like what it is or the value of it or anything like that. She was so taken that he thought enough to say, I want to give you this. She was so excited to have it. And it's like she got to spend time with her uncle when he came down to help, and they were laughing and cutting up and having fun. And we were all sitting around night after night after night, just laughing and telling stories and bonding and spending time together and just doing things that nobody does anymore. And it's so critical that people do those things. It's so critical. And so many people are more all about their freaking electronics than they are about the people that are in the room. And it's just irritating beyond measure.
So, Victoria,
Post-it note.
I was hoping you were going to remember that.
But let's not talk about the note we found.
Yes, let's not.
While we were there.
So, what would help our listeners in this situation as far as wills, power of attorneys?
Well, they need to make sure that they, first of all, have one of the most crucial things is power of attorney, a medical power of attorney, because they're completely separate. Right? I'm not a lawyer. However, I do create, the power of attorneys and the living will and the wills. And you can reach out to me with the whole Victoria@contagiousmile.com. And I'm not a lawyer, but I do many of these. I was and did go to school for being a paralegal, but you go and you have all these. And that way, you don't have to worry about burdening your family with, oh my God, do we put her on or him on a feeding tube because they are incapacitated at the moment? Or do we put them on a ventilator? Do we give them antibiotics if they do or do not want? Do we let them be in a vegetated state? How long do they stay in a vegetated state? These are, I'm very methodical. I want every question possible because I don't want to put the burden on the family. Like, for instance, our family is very medical, right? So a family that's not, or you have to sit there and think about it. I don't want my husband to be like, does my wife want a feeding tube? And then to carry the guilt of, I have to make the decision. Is it the right one or is it the wrong one? Am I making the right decision for my wife? Is this what she would want? These are decisions that, you should make. And that way you're not putting this burden, even though it's really not well, it can be a decision on the family. You're not
Right.
making them carry this.
It's already stressful enough.
It is. And here's the thing. We had no idea that she was even sick. I mean, we didn't have the first clue. And then we get a phone call that says she passed away. And that's, what we got was that phone call. My husband's mouth is wide open. No.
Okay, so you advise first thing is medical power of attorney.
Yes,
You've got a will, then you got a living will, you've got a last will and testament.
correct.
You've got executor,
The beneficiaries.
right?
But then, like, if you're leaving your house and your house is, say, in one spouse's name, but not in both spouses' name, through a transfer of deeds.
Or you have to go through those things and figure out why. Babe,
Oh, I'm sorry. We had a technical difficulty there. Yeah, so houses in whoever's name, vehicles, all this is very stressful after the fact because you may or may not have signatures done. If you don't, then like I said, things go through probate, and that could take a couple years. So y'all, for your sake, for a peace of mind, get these paperworks and these documents done while your loved one, your family member is still in the right state of mind, still have their faculties, and they're able to do it. Is it morbid? Yes, it's very morbid. Dad, let's sit down and have a conversation about your death. Okay? Let's talk about your funeral arrangements, your burial. You want to be cremated? Talk to me, Dad. That yes, it's morbid, but it's necessary. Absolutely necessary. It's got to be done.
These things we'll figure out.
Okay.
The ashes, where do you want them? Who do you want them to go to? These are all questions that I answer. And when I fill out these documents, it's so important. Refresh to go through and look at everything and understand. It's a lot going on. There's a lot to be done. But also, I want to take a minute and I hate, babes. I hate to use this as a leeway, but today, as this releases, is October 1st, and it's Domestic Violence Awareness
yeah.
Month. And a lot of people don't survive domestic violence, right? And that's another reason to have your affairs in order so that anything you have set up for your kids, God forbid, you have it taken care of. You have no way of that asshole of an abuser taking what belongs to your children. We just today are launching the Dear Silence. You lost. Now we get the last word. It is a collection of the most beautiful survivors using their voice, telling their story, using this for growth for other people. That is on Amazon, and right now it's on special for $18.99. That book is also an ebook. You could also do it as an ebook, but the $18.99 that entire amount goes to the scholarships for the Contagious Smile Academy. And right now we have a $497 master class about this abuse as well that coincide with the book, and it's free. I'm doing it free. And then I have the then I have the Dear Silent. If you go into the academy, you go to acontagiousmile.m as in Mary, N as in Nancy.co and join free. Then you go to the Dear Silence, which is all under the Safe Haven Phoenix Center collection. So you have the $497 masterclass is free. I did a Dear Silence survivor kit where it has all of this information on things that you can do, how to start getting stuff prepared for when it happens, how to get yourself safe. That whole kit is free. You can download that. There's PDFs in there. You can photo screen that and lock that picture away in your phone. That is done. There's another one called Safe Home that is also under the Dear Silence collection. That was a $297 value course for free. These are all going together for Domestic Violence Awareness Month. And then if you go in there and you have a hankering to say, you know what, there's a lot of stuff in here that can be very valuable for anyone, not just myself, but if you have $5, if you have $10 to offer a scholarship for somebody, you know, a child, a teenager, a adult, a survivor of narcissism, a survivor of verbal, emotional, financial, physical, all of this, sexual abuse, then we provide the scholarship and waive the fees for everybody else. And we aren't doing this for profit. We are doing this literally just to break even and be able to support and pay for the platforms to which we have to carry it on. I've never taken a paycheck. My husband has never taken a paycheck, but we want to be able to pay it forward. And if we do not get donations, we will not be able to continue at this level to do what we are doing. So it's really imperative that people see it's October, it's Domestic Violence Awareness. And, you know, I'm so proud to say that it was 8 years ago this month, 8 years ago this month that I released Who Kicked First. And NBC did a story about it, and it was amazing. And I was honored to be a part of it. And our daughter got an Emmy for her work. Here goes our phones yelling at me for saying that. But it is true, and it has been 8 years since that release. And then there's been another book out since. And now to say that we've gone from that to building this academy. And right now there's over 150 courses. Most of them are free. We will only be able to do that with the continuing support of people who want to make donations. So please think about it. Like, we went on the drive, we were exhausted, and we went through Starbucks, right? And just one coffee was $5.25 or something like that for the coffee. And we each got one. So 3 of us, right? And normally we would never do that, but we're driving and we're trying to be safe. And, you know, we're driving down there, the 3 of us and the 2 dogs. And it was like $30 or something crazy. And it was because our daughter has to eat. And so she ended up getting like a couple of Danishes or whatever it was with it, whatever the case may be. And that's what ended up happening. But if you can drive through and get a coffee for $5.25, you could please think about the fact that 1 in 4 women, so you, your mom, your sister, or your daughter. Did I get 4 there? I'm pretty tired. You, your mom, your sister, your daughter. Yeah, there's 4. Hello. That there's 1 in 4 go through some type of abuse. And what if it was your next door neighbor? What if it was your best friend? What if it was your sister or your daughter and they didn't have the means? Well, guess what? I've had women that say, and I've had men in the community, I've had people in the LGBTQ community who have said, I don't have $5 to pay for this. I don't ask questions. Okay. I give them the code and they go, because, you know, here's the thing. If you're going to lie about needing a scholarship for a course about survival of abuse, then I'm going to give it to you regardless. Right. And if somebody's going to lie about that, it's $5. And that's
so very conscious.
Right. It's a $5 course or a $5 fee, and I'll waive it for anybody. You know, what are they going to do with the course? They're going to take it. And I see that they take it. So it makes a big difference. And anybody who needs to go in there and get that help, get that support. And it's not just courses in there about domestic violence. You know, a lot of people, babe, don't realize that when you've been through abuse, you're in recovery. And a lot of people may not agree with that, but you are in recovery. I'm in recovery. You're in recovery. And so there are courses in there all about recovery as well. And so there's something in there for everybody. And I'm sorry, I always have to talk about it because he's my boy.
You have a lot.
But we have the Stucco Squad for kids, special needs kids. So flippin' cute, so sweet, so cute. We have caregiver courses. special needs parents courses. I've even done 2 courses that are huge about special needs families, how they can make ends meet, how they can do side hustles and do extra jobs on the side, how they can find the way to do this, from starting it up to launching and everything in between. It's all on there. I mean, and it's free to join. So what have you got to lose? People will pay $500,000, $500 to $8,000 a month for these shots to lose weight, but they're doing so much harm to your body. And people are doing all of this stuff to change the look of themselves on the outside. Fake nails, fake hair, fake tan, fake eyelashes, Botox, this, injections here, butt lifts here, breast augmentation. You know, you look at this and you think this, hey, to each their own. Why can't you do something for yourself that helps your insides, that helps your peace of mind, that helps you realize how amazing you are, and to help you get over those humps? Everybody goes through it. Everybody. We didn't know a week ago that his dad's wife, his stepmom, was going to pass away. Like, we had not a first clue. It's a phone call, you know, think about it. You're having dinner, everything's great, or you're at work and everything is fine. And it's, hold on a minute, my dad's calling, and it's, you'll never believe what just happened. It's that fast, right? And you just have to do something for yourself. Do something for yourself. Who cares? Oh, I'm about to do this. Who cares what everybody else thinks? And I'm being serious. I mean, who? And I don't want. Let me reword that, because right now, no, I'm not being serious. My husband's making me eat those worms. It's literally
Why?
Why what? I have body dysphoria. I will be the very first to admit it. I can't walk by a mirror and not be grotesque by what I see. And I'm the first to admit it. You know? But
So
here's
they taste good?
no, I'm not eating. But here's the thing. I used to be told, you used to turn heads, now you turn stomachs.
But you said the word used to.
Correct.
In the past.
Correct.
Many years ago.
Correct.
Okay, so why give a shit now
Because
what other people think?
That's what all of our courses are for, is to help.
Well, then have somebody hypnotize you. Have somebody teach you.
Okay, as soon as I know what you said in that courtroom bathroom.
Well, as soon as I get a hypnotist.
I'm gonna ask him to tell
No,
you.
let's keep harping on this.
Talk about, we're
Okay.
always on the same page.
We're on the same page, right now.
We're not running
Yes,
the same
we are.
library. Like it's like 10 times today. Talk about our on the same page thing. Please, thank you.
We are on the same page, like right now,
No,
talking about I don't care
No.
what other people think about me. They don't like my scruffy beard. They don't like my redneck t-shirts I wear. They don't like my boots that I stomp around in. I don't give a flying 2 cent shit. Okay?
you don't give a what?
I wear what I want to wear.
Right now,
I
you're wearing
dress
my shirt.
how I like to dress. I like to feel comfortable. I like a nice, slack, relaxed pair of jeans. I don't like them butt huggers that these tight, short, breeched wearing people wear. Yes, it just.
Yeah, you did over and split those bad boys.
I'm not bending over anywhere in front of somebody with tight breeches.
Breaches.
Regardless, don't worry about what other people think.
Probably second talk tomorrow.
Okay.
For just a minute, because today we go to the grocery
Listeners,
store.
y'all see how she is skirting around this subject.
I don't wear skirts. Now, listen, so, and you don't know this, babe, we're at the grocery store today, okay? And as we're getting ready to check out, this person behind me, probably 55, 60 years old, is staring at me like I am like the serial killer coming after her, right? Like staring at me hard. And I see it. I get it. I feel that you're staring at me, right? Obviously, she needs a hug. It's not coming from me. And our beautiful child, Faith, gave her the best eat shit look I've ever seen. It was great. So what else does my daughter do? She walks up beside me and puts her arm around my nub and hugs me. I mean, and that is a big, eat crow kind of comment, I mean, seriously, that's just amazing. See, this is how my husband is like squirrel. All you gotta do is hit the other thing on the right, babe, and it'll make it smaller. My husband normally is completely and utterly involved in this podcasting event. Right now, he's all about like personalizing a card with our face on it.
It's my new debit card.
Okay, but right now, this is your new podcast.
Well, I've invented, I've said my piece, I flipped my switch. You need to flip your switch. Don't care about what other people think.
Still different.
Whatever.
Would you please tell people, because some people don't know, I've lost all hearing in the right time. I have nothing. No,
That's right.
there's a
So you just told them.
Okay.
So, yes.
and you know what? I don't even have one side of my body that is completely correct anymore. You know, I have to gingerbread
So, Michael,
on one side.
why do you want to be with a woman who's scarred up,
From tip to bottom.
who's broken, who has one arm,
No hearing.
who has one semi-decent ear,
I'm feeling like a Van Gogh.
who has body dysphoria,
Oh, yeah, that's true.
because, y'all, she has my heart.
Mine.
Mic drop!
Same page. Always on the same page. Always on the same page.
Y'all, this is my soulmate, the love of my life. Give me a kiss.
Mwah.
And I will be with her forever. And that's our show.
Take us out.
I love you. I love you most.
Oh, you.
Good night, y'all. Thanks for listening to Contagious Smile Unstoppable with Victoria and Michael.
And go get Our Dear Silence
Yeah, y'all go pick that up.
on Amazon. If you can't find it by the title because it's a new release, look it up under my name, Victoria Curate, VICTORIACUORE.
That sounds like the Mickey Mouse song.
Thanks, guys.